Should you put your house into trust? The truth revealed. I know a lot of my viewers are still undecided if they should put the house into trust or not. And in this video, we're going to break down what are the different types of trusts, why are trusts important, who needs a trust, why use a trust, how much is this going to cost you, and who does not need a trust. And if you don't need a trust, what do you actually need? So if you want to get 100% clarity for your situation on whether a trust is for you or not, all of your questions are going to be answered in this video. Hi, I'm Mike Pugh with MP Estate Planning. I'm based in Bristol, UK. Let's run through what are the different types of trusts out there. There are three major types of trust: a bare trust, also known as an absolute trust, an interest in possession trust, and discretionary trusts. The simplest trust structure is the bare trust. Trustees hold capital and income for the absolute benefit of the beneficiary. Trustees have no discretion. The next major type of trust is the interest in possession trust, and a form of these is commonly found in wills, where one partner wishes to leave their surviving partner the right to live rent-free in their home. They would divide the home into tenants in common, and income from investments can all be held on the deceased's name. And then on the second death, then they wish to leave their assets maybe to children from a previous relationship. And while these are widely used, the benefits really only start after the first death. The final category of trust is the discretionary trust. Trustees have discretion to appoint capital or income to a whole pick list of potential beneficiaries, including yourselves and the kids, which the trustees can then choose to appoint the benefits to. Now, because of that, HMRC or external threats can't point the finger at anyone and say, aha, that's your money. Now the money can stay in the trust and cascade down from generation to generation, and nobody pays inheritance tax on it. Discretionary trusts are most widely used in estate planning, as they can protect you while you are alive. Why are trusts so important? The importance of trusts cannot be overstated. Trusts do one thing very, very well. Trusts protect assets, and this keeps them with your bloodline. We all know how hard it is to earn a living and build up any wealth or pay off a mortgage, and it's an absolute nightmare for families when their largest asset, their home, is lost due to care fees or divorce or litigation. And knowing that 20 or 30 years of hard graft is going to be lost is very distressing for most parents. Just last week, I had a Zoom with a 50-year-old single mother in Bristol who wanted to put her home into trust for her daughter. And in our chat, it turns out that her father had only done a basic will and no further planning. And over the last 3 years, his two daughters, her sister, had watched the £280,000 home disappear at £1,700 a week for care fees. The lady I spoke with was bittersweet, as next month her estate will be down to $14,250, and with a tone of bitterness in her voice, she said the local authority can finally start to pay. You see, her father has contributed into the system his entire life, and because he didn't sort out a trust years earlier, his two daughters will not receive any inheritance, which is why she was talking with me about putting her home into trust for her daughter. So who needs a trust? Well, if you're a homeowner or you own a second property, you should probably put those properties into trust. The type of trust you need boils down to the value of the estate and what are you trying to achieve. If you're single and your home is less than £325,000, then you do not have any inheritance tax bills to pay. However, care fees can take everything. And the same if you're married, your estate is less than £650,000, there's still no inheritance tax to pay, but once again, care fees could take it all. So you will need a single or couples family home protection trust, or an FHPT. And when the estate is above £325,000 for a single person or above $650,000 for a couple, you will need a family home protection trust plus, or an FHPT plus. This trust protects assets and retains all of the inheritance tax reliefs, meaning no IHT to pay. Now, when the estate is above $500,000 for a single person or above $1 million for a couple, there is a need for some additional tax reduction planning. Here, we can eliminate or significantly reduce the 40% inheritance tax payable. If you have a second property, not the main family residence, this can also be placed into a settler excluded asset protection trust, or an SEAPT. Now, this property can be protected, and in 7 years, it's also going to be outside of your estate for inheritance tax purposes. Why use a trust? The simplest truths are the most self-evident. Trusts have been available in the UK for over 800 years, and things that don't work don't last. The rich have literally been using trusts for hundreds of years here. Now, over the last 30 years, the internet has democratized knowledge. Now people can learn for free about what the rich have been doing for centuries. So the takeaway here is, if you can't beat them, would it be a bad idea to join them? How much is this going to cost? MP Estate Planning UK is the first company in the UK to publish all of our prices on our company website, and I've shot a YouTube video outlining how price works. We are the first and really only company that I'm aware of that actively publishes all of our prices publicly. Most people love our transparency and our ability to give bespoke solutions for inexpensive prices. Because we want to make trusts available for everyone, we also offer interest-free payment plans, and this means you can set up your trust with a deposit of just £950 plus VAT. This makes trusts accessible to all families, and now you can protect your home and do what the rich do. Who does not need a trust? Well, here are some rough guidelines as people who don't need a trust. And again, everyone's situation is different, so it's best to speak with a professional estate planner for clarity. If you're under the age of 18, you cannot have a trust. You need to be over the 18. You need to be an adult. If you don't own a home, then you probably don't need a trust. And if you don't own assets of your own, or maybe you live with your children, or maybe you've got a little bit of money in the bank, it's unlikely that you need a trust at this time. And if you don't need a trust, well, what do you actually need? Because if there aren't assets to protect, you should probably consider just setting up wills and lasting powers of attorney. Let's be fair, money's not always the most important thing here. Families and relationships generally are. And being able to take care of your parents, or having your kids take care of you as you get elderly, is going to be the relationship or job that you want to have done. You're going to need a lasting power of attorney for this. So at the bare minimum, everybody should have a will and lasting powers of attorney. So if you live in England and Wales, and you want a trust to protect your family against inheritance tax, care fees, creditors, divorce, litigation, or maybe you just need a will and lasting powers of attorney, click on the link in the description to schedule a free 20-minute call so that we can get you started.